could you go back in time and tell us the first experience you had, kind of the first insight you had about this being home, this inner world, this original space that you talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Just how did that come about in your consciousness? What did it look like at the time?
It was in the midst of resistance. It was in the midst of heavy-duty anger at the latest visit from Sid Banks. And what he shared with me in that visit, where I wouldn't even invite him and his wife, Barb, to sit down, was pure love. He shared pure love with me. And it absolutely shook my world and turned it upside down. And I got very, very disturbed and angry. Not just disturbed, but in my disturbance, I was angry. Like, how could he say such things? How could he make such remarks with such certainty? I took it as arrogance. I took his certainty as arrogance. And in the middle of my ranting and raving to a mutual friend, a moment of clarity appeared. My true nature snuck out somehow. And this is, to me, what is so incredible, that despite ourselves, despite what my ego and intellect was saying and doing and the behavior that I was experiencing, being a passenger in that, clarity appeared, like out of nowhere. And the clarity that came was that I'm the thinker. That it was my thoughts creating my feelings. I never knew that. Sid had shared that with me, over the year and a half of me saying, no, 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 no. But I never knew that. I never got it. The penny didn't drop. And in that moment of clarity, in the midst of anger, I experienced my true nature. And it moved me right away from anger into peace, into wonder that this could be so. That I think, as much as anything, not just the insight itself about thought creates feeling, but that there was something inside of me. That's really what got me, because I'd never felt that before. I'd never thought I had wisdom inside of me. I always felt insecure and unworthy in life. And for the first time, that insight brought with it the feeling of worthiness, that there was something deeper going on inside of me. And that was the evidence. It was the feeling and it was the information that came to me. So it was practical and it was profound. And that was it. I turned the corner and started to look inside. Because you know how Sid would always say that. He'd just say, when you want to go home, you don't keep walking out there. You turn around and head back. And that was the first time I realized that, to a degree. And it happened despite myself. It tickles me to this day, 39 years later, it tickles me that despite myself and my resistance and my anger, clarity appeared, insight appeared. Isn't that amazing for humanity? I know people, there's all different levels, and people will come to this understanding. They'll resonate with it. They'll think, this is what I've been looking for all my life. Or they'll say, I've lived like this. I've sensed there's something behind life, but I didn't know that there were principles connected to the way I looked at life. So, I see all different levels that come to this understanding. But for those of us who have been had resistance I think this offers amazing hope.